The whole nation knows what Wisconsin's pathetic reputation is for drunk drivers.
Repeat OWI offenders are a plague in Wisconsin. Are there any new changes to keep them from getting behind the wheel? 2 bills meant to crack down on drunk driving went nowhere in last year's legislative session. Good evening, I'm Eric Franke. Now lawmakers are reintroducing them and 4 others to try and deter drinking and driving. News 3's Jennifer Hoff is here with News 3 Investigates and a follow-up.
Eric, in November, we pored over Department of Transportation statistics and found some 300,000 Wisconsin drivers have at least one OWI. In fact, Wisconsin is the only state where first offense drunken driving is not a crime, rather a traffic ticket. If Representative Jim Ott's bills pass, that would change. Ask Sue and Fritz Dome, and change is all they want. The Prairie du Sac couple's son was killed by a drunk driver nearly 2 years ago.
It's been a rough 2 years.
What's left of Davy Dome is in the living room.
You've reached Davy with CDW.
The voicemail.
Please leave a message after the tone.
He was one of the most kind-hearted, compassionate people you would ever find.
And the memories his mom and dad hang on to since Davy died April 15th, 2011.
This is not something you get over.
The 36-year-old was in the SUV that crashed into a tree. Its driver, Chad Spurley's blood alcohol content was 3 times the legal limit. And while he declined News 3's interview request for this story, Spurley spoke in court after recently being sentenced.
I am so deeply sorry for what I did.
In 3.5 years, when he comes out of prison, Spurley can have a life. In 3.5 years, Davy doesn't have that opportunity. He doesn't have a chance to come back and have a life.
The Dome's push for tougher penalties include a mandatory minimum sentence for deadly drunk driving incidents. That number, according to one of Representative Jim Ott's newest bills, would be 10 years. Ask the judge who sentenced Spurley, and he disagrees with that.
We would be remiss if we believe that the solutions lay here in the criminal justice system and not in larger society.
Judge Hanrahan suggests change starts with changing the public's mindset and cites the success of other countries that outlaw drinking and driving. Most
people try to abide by the law, and if there was a bright line and they knew what that bright line was, they would not cross it.
This legislative session, Representative Ott will reintroduce 2 bills. One, make a first-time offense with a BAC of .15 criminal, although right now civil penalties can include license suspensions and fines. Secondly, classify 3rd and 4th offenses as felonies, because right now they're not until later offenses. Last year, Ott says a cost estimate that soared into the millions stalled both bills' success.
The reason that we're introducing these bills is we hope to have a deterrent effect on bad driving behavior, driving impaired, and if we're successful and we do have a deterrent effect, there should be ultimately less convictions and less arrests, which would bring down the cost.
Do you really believe that they care about mandatory penalties? Because they believe that they're not going to get caught. And in fact, there's a good basis for that belief, because they are, it is not very probable that they will get caught.
Sue and Fritz Dome are hoping otherwise and want to end drunk driving and the suffering they and any other family might be feeling.
I'm hoping they'll still be able to get something passed, because we need to start someplace, and something is better than nothing right now.
Now, there are some things that just are not being worked on. How about sobriety checkpoints? 38 states and the District of Columbia have this law. Wisconsin and 12 others do not. Ignition locks for first-time offenders, 17 states mandate them, but not Wisconsin. Wisconsin does, however, require second and third-time offenders with a high blood alcohol content attach those devices to their car, but still something everyone might agree on here is that there just is no simple answer to solve a rather complex problem.
A lot of work to do in Wisconsin on this, and we appreciate the Domes for sharing their story.
Exactly.
Jennifer, thank you very much.